guys, welcome back to another episode of I Am I. My name is Joshua Ansley, and I just want to give a little disclaimer here before we get started, or this might be the whole episode, I'm not really sure. Everything that I talk about in this vlog is not for everyone. It's really not. I used to really want to save the world, had a real savior, messianic complex, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think it was really an issue, but when it becomes personal, thinking that I have to do something, the world's just fine without me. The world doesn't need me, I need the world, really. And it's just really my ego that's going to tell me otherwise, right? So all this information that I'm giving, it's really just from my own experience and the things that I've learned. But I can understand that there is so much that I have no clue about. There are a million ways to view this life. There's a million ways to take this path, There really is no one way. And it gets very hard when you see something to not want to just spread that and tell everybody this and make it something that is a solid truth. And I can't tell you what the solid truth is. I don't think that I'm ready for the truth. And I don't know that most people are, It comes in small, very small doses, because too much of it would absolutely just destroy us. The psyche can't actually handle that much of an influx of cosmic understanding or truth, right? When you see that your reality starts to crumble, if you've ever had your world shattered and your understanding shattered in an instant, the rug pulled out from underneath you, it's absolutely daunting, and it can be very traumatic. That's why some of the people ask me about this kind of work, and is there too much? And yes, there is such a thing as too much, especially if you're doing trauma work. Too much trauma release can actually be very dangerous. It can be detrimental to the psyche. So, if you watch The Matrix, it's when he falls out of the Matrix, it's not a great, beautiful thing. On the other side of it is, but this is really what I wanted to get into talking about, this week, was that it's really the way we've constructed our psyche that is going to keep us from being able to progress in our lives, right? So, and progress with our spirituality. Now, I say this work is not for everybody. The prefrontal cortex will not allow some people to get out of the rules and the social behavior that they have. And some of them will go to great lengths, and we're going to see this. We're seeing this now coming up, and we're going to see it a lot in the times that we are in right now. There are going to be some really dramatic things happening and traumatic things happening. But this is the kind of work that I'm talking about, that when we start to understand that it's not the world that causes suffering, but how we relate to it. And if we can really grasp that at any cost, that our psyche has set up a way for us to be safe and to be comfortable. What we figured out is through these five senses, in relating to the world, we figured out a way to manipulate others. We figured out a way to manipulate the world around us, to set up a personality and a psyche to keep us safe, right? And it's about control. So that way we can be in control and know that everything is going to be okay. If we just have this here, or if I just behave this way, then everything's going to be okay, and I'll avoid this confrontation, or avoid this trauma, or avoid feeling or anything, and everything's going to be okay. Let's just keep it okay. And we start to learn that in actuality, it's when we let all of that go, that cage of the psyche that we've created is what is keeping us miserable. That freedom is on the other side of that safety, on the other side of that comfort. So when we start to change the way we relate to the world, it's like pain. I say a lot of this stuff, but we need to hear it again and again. Because like I said, I used to want to change the world, and now I am completely fine preaching to the choir. because the choir needs to hear this fucking shit every goddamn day so they don't lose their mind and go out screaming into the world. We need to come in and hear it and hear a message. It doesn't have to be my message, not from me. It's just hear a message of positivity and growth and changing the way we relate to the world so that we can go out there and not be thrown around by it, so that we can step into the most difficult of situations, so that we can sit through our pain and not be attached to it, so that we can sit with others and their pain. So we don't have to just be needy and selfish all the time. But the truth is, we have to take care of ourselves first. We have to take care of ourselves first. And sometimes that means getting out of situations. I am watching a tremendous amount of extreme manipulation happening, particularly on things like Facebook and in the times that we're in right now. And I don't give a fuck which side you're on. There's a lot of hate and anger, and there's a lot of people that are manipulating their position as they're in a position of power. There's a lot of people that are using that to manipulate and to think that they are absolutely right. And I can tell you that I have no idea what right is. In my belief, there is no right and wrong. And that doesn't make sense, right, in this world. It's absolutely wrong to do this. But it's an understanding. We'll get into right and wrong later, right? So this is me rambling because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to talk about today. And I actually sat there for hours and for days trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about. And I'm upset, you know? I'm upset at things that are happening. I'm upset at the ignorance that is being spewed about by everybody at this time, you know? And I wish I weren't upset, and that's my job. That's my working towards understanding that I cannot change the way other people think. I can just change the way I think and the way I'm relating to the world. That is all I can do, is that I can be the light, I can be the change, I can be the love in this world, and not condemning others for their opinions and their thoughts, even though they're absolutely fucking insane. That does me no good. That does me no good if I am sitting there and I'm getting completely torn apart inside and angry and vicious because of other people's stupidity and insanity. This is a perfect example of how we can be spiritual, of how we can use this tumultuous time to learn and grow, to keep a serenity and a stability within ourselves. And that does not mean we just accept whatever shit comes our way. Absolutely fucking not. This is a time for change. There is a lot happening. But if we go out there with ourselves all ripped up, operating out of fear, operating out of anger, and these are things that need to be worked through. I'm not telling you not to be angry. It's not about pretending. Be angry. Express it in healthy ways. Know what you're really angry about. You don't even know what you're really angry about. You don't have to be angry. You can work it out. It's not saying that you don't have to be angry. I'm saying you don't have to operate from that place of anger. You can work that shit through. Let that shit pass through you. Get uncomfortable. See what you're really angry about. See what the injustice is that is really bothering you, so then we can move through this, and then we can move into this world affecting change from a place of stability within ourselves, from a place of love, from a place of compassion for these people who have no clue what they're talking about. They're fucking morons. I love you. What? Too much?
You know what really grinds my gears? You, America. Fuck you!